Greetings, Sky Watchers, and welcome to 2023. I, Science Ben, made it through the changing of calendars, and hope you did too. We're going to take a look at what to look forward to in the coming year in a bit, but first, we're transporting outside and looking up. It's 12:03 on Tuesday, the 10th of January, 2023. Our sun is currently positioned low in the sky, but as we move further into the year, the sun will appear higher and higher, providing additional hours of daylight until we reach the summer solstice. Moving further into today and on into tonight, we discover a twilight Venus and Saturn appearing close together behind the setting sun. They will appear even closer on the 22nd when they reach conjunction. A sparsely lit waxing crescent moon will join the arrangement on the 23rd, an excellent opportunity for astrophotographers, professional, and hobbyists alike. Turning southeast in tonight's sky, we find another naked eye visible planet, Mars. Uranus is nearby, but requires assisted viewing. Tonight, Mars is found within the constellation Taurus the Bull. Be careful not to mistake Taurus's fiery eye red giant star Aldebaran for the red planet. It will travel slightly higher in the sky, nearer the bull's horns. Thursday night, Mars ends retrograde motion, returning to its typical prograde appearance of traveling counterclockwise through the sky. On the night of the 30th, Mars will briefly appear to disappear from the sky as the moon passes in front of it via lunar occultation. Since the moon is much closer to the Earth than other celestial bodies, its exact location in the sky differs depending on exact location of viewing on Earth. As a result, this parallax results in lunar occultations only ever being visible for a small fraction of the Earth's surface. We here in Danville will not be able to view this month's lunar occultation of Mars, but sky watchers in southern border states like Florida, Texas, and California will have the opportunity to. Something on Mars has disappeared: communication with the InSight lander. NASA's InSight landed on the Rust planet on November the 26th, 2018, with a mission to study the interior of Mars. After 4 years and 18 days of service, InSight sent its last transmission to Earth on the 15th of last month. The administration declared the mission ended on the 21st. It's believed the planet's notorious Martian dust storms had accumulated too much debris onto InSight's solar panels, preventing it from recharging its battery. InSight's service resulted in the recording of over 500 Marsquakes. These recordings have contributed to the understanding of the core of Mars as being roughly half the size of the core of Earth. This is significantly smaller than previously thought and could suggest the presence of lighter elements in the heart of Mars. Mars is in the heart of many a space fan, as it is anticipated to be the first planet that humans visit. Landing humans on Mars is one of the objectives of NASA's Artemis missions, which completed Phase 1 this past year. An Orion space capsule atop an SLS rocket successfully completed the 1.4 million-mile journey around the moon and back. The returning Orion spacecraft splashed down in the Pacific Ocean on December the 11th. It arrived back at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida on December 30th. Throughout 2023, technicians will examine the returned payload, which included a mannequin that measured possible travel impact on the human body, a plush Snoopy used for detecting zero gravity, and a Lego minifig, a Girl Scout space badge, and a mezuzah. Extra attention will be paid to the effects of travel on Orion's heat shield in preparation for 2024's Artemis II mission that will place humans once more in close orbit around the moon. In September, NASA will be preparing for the return of another spacecraft, OSIRIS-REx. On October 20th, 2020, OSIRIS-REx successfully touched down on asteroid Bennu, collecting a sample of between 400 and 1,000 grams of the space rock. This sample is anticipated to be returned to Earth on September 24th of this year. Bennu is a B-type asteroid believed to be largely composed of carbonaceous material, a key element in organic molecules like amino acids that are vital for life. After delivery of its payload, OSIRIS-REx will prepare for its next mission as OSIRIS-APEX, which is expected to land on and sample the asteroid 99942 Apophis by the year 2029. Discovering the invisible components that make up the universe is the focus of NASA and ESA's joint Euclid mission. Euclid is a near-infrared space telescope that aims at further understanding dark energy and dark matter by accurately measuring the acceleration of the universe. Euclid will launch later this year. Not to be left out, after a year of radically advancing the field of astronomy, the James Webb Space Telescope will continue its survey of deep space this year. 2023 promises continued investigation of protostars, as well as exoplanets and their atmospheres. An innovative sight is taking flight in Earth's atmosphere, perhaps as early as this spring. NASA's X-57 Maxwell is an experimental, completely electric airplane. Powered by commercially available lithium-ion batteries, the X-57 uses its 14 motors to spin propellers for liftoff and landing, but reduces down to just 2 motors in use during flight. It can travel a distance of 100 miles with a flight time of 1 hour. With a significantly longer flight time, one that will include 5 days of Earth orbit, in March, SpaceX plans to launch its Polaris Dawn spaceflight mission that will consist solely of private citizens. Once in orbit, members of the crew will also take the first commercial spacewalk in SpaceX-designed EVA suits. Following the success of Polaris Dawn, SpaceX will launch a civilian mission to orbit the moon on a weeks-long journey aboard its Starship spacecraft, the second largest spacecraft built to date, dwarfed only by the International Space Station. Financed by business entrepreneur Yusaka Maezawa, the remaining 8 crew members of the Dear Moon mission were selected via competition and is composed of a variety of artists that include internationally known DJ Steve Aoki. NASA and ESA are collaborating to explore in more detail distant moons this year. In April, the European Space Agency will launch the Jupiter Icy Moons Explorer, expected to reach our solar system's largest planet in July 2031. JUICE will then spend 4 years conducting flybys of the large icy moons Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto before entering in a dedicated orbit of the largest of these moons, Ganymede. These icy moons are believed to host liquid oceans beneath their frozen surfaces, with Europa in particular considered to be one of the most likely spots in the solar system for extraterrestrial life. Finally, the Space Administration will also be attempting to improve the quality of terrestrial life. This year, NASA will launch the Tropospheric Emissions Monitoring a Pollution probe that will continuously measure atmospheric pollution levels across North America in a region that spans from Mexico City to the Canadian oil sands, from the Atlantic to the Pacific Oceans. Tempo will provide hourly updates of air quality for the entire United States. 2023 promises to continue the current golden age of space exploration, and we're excited to be along for the trip. You can catch monthly updates right here, beginning the second Tuesday of each month at noon. We'll see you next month on Tuesday, February the 14th. Until then, keep discovering. Bye.